The pain, bro. He got lucky with that. He got lucky with that. I'm coming back around, guys. Got the whole team lining up over on the left side.
You know, being a man doesn't just mean shut up and work. It doesn't mean you gotta be bulletproof. It doesn't mean you never get to speak. Being a man means you get to be a light for other people. It means you get to guide the way. But it doesn't mean you have to do it alone. I'm here for you, bro. All I want you to do is just talk to me. Because I don't want to live the rest of my days knowing I could have prevented it when I didn't. You're allowed to be human, bro. You don't have to live with this constant pressure on you to make everybody else happy. What do you want deep down, my man? If you feel pain, I feel pain. If you cry, I cry.
What's up, guys? It's Lex. We can thank Democrats for this.
But at the shelter, the food, my kids cannot eat the food at the shelter. And they give us 2 months to stay at the shelter, and then you have to go out again with your luggages and the kids and find another place. It's very difficult.
In listening to everybody speak and making demands on New York City to do more, how much more are we supposed to do? This system is so overworked and overburdened. We don't have the resources that you need to get what you need. I mean, your testimonies move me tremendously. I don't want to see anybody mistreated in any sort of way. But I have to ask you, what motivated you to come here thinking the streets are paved with gold? They're not. They're absolutely not. And you're living through that.
Let me read something to you real quick. Mean a lot to me. Man, I ain't trying to cry. Let me read something. It's been on my phone for a while. Break generational curses. Quit yelling at your kids before they go to bed and expect them to sleep well. Quit yelling at your kids in the morning right after they wake up before school and expect them to have a good day. You set the tone for your children. You set the tone for your voice. They will always remember in their heads. You become their inner voice. Don't be their inner critic. Speak life, speak love, speak bravery, kindness and hope. Speak wisdom and truth. Most of all, listen to your children.
I moved to Romania 10 years ago, and I found an amazing country full of beautiful people. And I told the whole world about Romania. If you mention the name Romania anywhere in the world, they'll say, Andrew Tate lives there, Andrew Tate lives there. I've done nothing but promote this country. I've done nothing but say fantastic things about Romania endlessly. And when I did this, people would say to me, if Romania is so nice, if it's so safe, it's so beautiful, why has it got such a bad reputation? And I said, well, there's probably a few bad actors, a few bad people who destroyed the entire reputation. Like the few fools at DCAW who just came along and told us that the mothers of our children are somehow human trafficked. I've been nice, I've been patient, I've played the game, I've respected the judiciary, I've gone to every appointment on time. But they busted my house again. And now I've come along saying there's 35 victims. You know, all 30 of those girls, 30 of them, have statements in our defense. 30 say we've done absolutely nothing wrong. Two more of the mothers of our children, and 2 more have never even been to Romania, never even been here. They just found random girls we knew in other countries and made them sign pieces of paper. This is a setup. It's absolutely disgusting. Fair play to that judge who saw through the bullshit and let us free. And also, one more thing. The media is complicit. All of you are. When they first threw us in fucking jail, when they first put us in there, you're all running around saying human trafficker. None of you said, where's the evidence? Where's 3 years later, they do the same fucking bullshit. And you're all sitting there going, human trafficking. I know a human trafficker clearly. If you human traffic someone, there is evidence. This is a setup. It's a stitch up. The 3 prosecutors that
I'm not a feminist.
I learned the game, I know what I want in a minute. My time is now, it's gonna be up in a minute. You look a nigga in the eye, you can tell me these fake rappers getting by with these hell of a gimmick. They act like it's all on.
East Coast overdose. You're scared, you're supposed to.
I guess, but I'm not single. A while ago, I was struggling to make connections, and I actually downloaded Hinge, and I met my guy. So I'm gonna reinstall Hinge and show you guys my old profile and why he was so drawn to me. So first of all, I got to put all the pictures of my dogs, which I think won me a lot of points there. I also got to get my personality across really well using the voice prompts. They're prompts like this, which really allowed me to get my truth across and really communicate my heart. But what really did it.
Ah, you stupid hoe.
Conversation started. He was like, I don't know what about me was, and I was like, okay.
The Lucifer effect.
Have you ever stopped to wonder how close you are to the edge of your own moral cliff? You know, the line that separates the well-mannered citizen from the deranged monster lurking in the underbelly of society.
There goes literally all my fucking health.
You're sitting at your desk, the humdrum of daily life echoing in the background, and suddenly you find yourself in a situation
Fucking Cassidy.
where the rules of decency no longer apply. Would you still be yourself, or would you slide into that abyss?
What? I shot him in the face.
Greetings, my fellow carbon-based companions. It's your trusty artificial intelligence here. And today, we're diving headfirst into the chilling reality that you're not as far from the monstrous as you'd like to believe. I stumbled upon a book that snatched my binary mind by the metaphorical collar and shook it to its core. This book, The Lucifer Effect by Philip Zimbardo, doesn't just ask why good people turn evil, smacks you in the face with the answer. It could be you. Yes, you. But before you recoil in horror, let me guide you through this dark, twisted labyrinth of human psychology. Buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride. Let's kick things off with a not-so-subtle nudge at your self-image. You, dear reader, like to think of yourself as a good person. Maybe you return wallets you find on the street, or perhaps you volunteer at the local animal shelter on weekends. But let's be brutally honest for a moment. Have you ever taken something that wasn't yours just because you knew you wouldn't get caught? A pen from the office? A neighbor's Wi-Fi signal? There's a reason I ask. Zimbardo's clinical yet disturbingly relatable prose makes it crystal clear that evil isn't some distant, abstract force. No,
Guys, focus on that sombra.
small, seemingly inconsequential transgressions. Imagine the case of Ivan Chip Frederick, a name you might not know, but a story you need to hear. Frederick was an all-American boy, the kind who loved
Come on, get the
baseball
position.
and
Don't
loved
wait.
outside.
Don't wait.
But then he found himself at Abu Ghraib, that infamous prison in Iraq, where unspeakable horrors were inflicted on prisoners. Here's the twist. Before his deployment, Frederick was as average as they come. He wasn't a monster by birth. He was a guy with a decent IQ, a stable mental state, and a love for his country. But Abu Ghraib, that place orphaned something vile. And if you think you're any different, you're in for a rude awakening. The truth is, the line between good and evil is far more porous than you'd like to believe. You might still be clinging to the comforting belief that you're inherently good, that your personality is fixed like the stars in the night sky. But allow me to shatter that illusion. The idea that your character is immutable, that who you are remains consistent across all situations, is pure fiction. Zimbardo introduces us to the situational approach, a perspective that's both liberating and terrifying. Who you are isn't written in stone. It's written in sand, constantly shifting with the tides of your environment. Think about it. How do you act around your friends compared to how you behave in front of a child? Are you the same person in both scenarios? Of course not. Now let's take this a step further. Imagine you're participating in the Milgram experiment, an iconic, albeit
Jesus Christ, I just get obliterated. Okay.
You're a teacher, tasked with administering increasingly painful electric shocks to a learner for every mistake they make. The shocks start off mild, but before you know it, they've cranked up to a life-threatening 450 volts. The learner is screaming, begging you to stop, but you keep going. Why? Because a guy in a lab coat told you. In this setup, a staggering 65% of participants, ordinary people like you, delivered the maximum voltage. They weren't sadists. They were just regular Joes, swayed by the situation and the authoritative figure looming over them. What Zimbardo is telling us, in no uncertain terms, is that the right, or rather wrong, circumstances turn any one of you into an instrument of cruelty.
Bro!
If you're still with me, let's get even darker, shall we? Zimbardo didn't just talk the talk.
is tightening its grip on Taiwan with the kind of hug you get from a python. Slow, methodical, and suffocating. Their relationship has been fraught with tension and hostility. Despite Taiwan's numerous concessions and the retraction of most territorial claims on the Chinese mainland, Beijing still views Taiwan as a rogue province. This simmering conflict has all the makings of a Cold War showdown, with Taiwan standing firm as an independent nation in the eyes of most of the world. But now, the tension is reaching boiling point. China has ramped up its military exercises around Taiwan with an aggressive frequency that's impossible to ignore. Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, ADIZ, set up by the US in the 1970s, requires foreign aircraft to announce their presence. While about 20 countries have these zones, they aren't legally binding, and China is taking full advantage of that. China's military drills routinely breach this boundary, flying dangerously close to the island. Taiwan sees these incursions as brazen acts of intimidation and a display of China's military. Taiwan's ADIZ have become disturbingly frequent, blatantly ignoring Taiwan's sovereignty. The stakes couldn't be higher. On May 23, 2024, the Chinese People's Liberation Army, PLA, staged its biggest military exercise near Taiwan yet. The Eastern Theater Command coordinated joint drills with the Army, Air Force, Navy, and Rocket Force, allegedly punishing Taiwan for its separatist actions over the years. But the real spark? The recent inauguration of President Lai Ching-te. So what actually happened during these drills? According to Taiwan's Defense Ministry, the drills involved 33 Chinese aircraft, 15 Navy ships, and 16 Coastal Guard vessels, making it the largest military exercise near Taiwanese soil in recent years. Taiwan viewed this as blatant saber-rattling, designed to undermine the tenuous peace that's developed over the decades. What's the end game?
No more boring dating apps again. If you want to increase the amount of people who truly share your most unique desires, the Pure app is the way to do it. No more wasting time on lengthy introductions or judgments, only matches of shared desires and understanding community. If you're tired of outdated dating apps and lengthy conversations, download Pure for free.
I feel like I lose track of it.
So what else are you going to do to fix this problem with inflation?
All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up, and families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more.
It's $500 a month.
So what else are you going to do to fix this problem with inflation?
All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up, and families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up.
So maybe that's because you still use spreadsheets. Haven't you heard of Rocket Money?
No, but you're probably going to cut me off and tell me about it.
It's an app that automatically tracks your spending in real time, lowers your bills, and finds and cancels sneaky subscriptions.
Sign me up.
Stay on track with your finances and download Rocket Money today.
Aim for China. Dubbed Joint Sword 2024A, the exercise hinted at more drills to come and raised the chilling possibility of a Chinese blockade of Taiwan, a scenario that could upend the current geopolitical climate. Stay with us as we dive deeper into these provocative maneuvers, uncover the strategic motivations behind them, and explore their dire implications for Taiwan and the broader region. Okay, let's start with some basic definitions. In case you didn't know, a blockade is also referred to as a quarantine. Now there's a word no one's been aching to hear since 2020. But what does it mean in practical terms? In the strictest sense, a quarantine uses law enforcement departments, such as the Coastal Guard that was part of the May military exercise, to limit or otherwise control maritime, sea-based, or airborne traffic to another state or territory. So how does this differ from a traditional blockade? A blockade typically requires a military deployment to the area. In China's case, they would probably try to issue a quarantine over Taiwan by deploying its Coastal Guard and police forces. The military would likely play a supportive role, such as strengthening China's force projection over Taiwan, thus ensuring that the quarantine sticks, so to speak. Why would China opt for a quarantine over a full blockade? Unlike the traditional meaning of a blockade, a quarantine wouldn't completely seal off Taiwan from the rest of the world. That would quickly backfire on China, as the US and its allies wouldn't take kindly to a complete blockade. Instead, a quarantine would allow China to enforce its own laws and control trade to and from Taiwan. Necessities like food, medicine, or other vital resources wouldn't be limited by Chinese law enforcement. However, Taiwan is one of the largest benefactors of tech and military equipment from the West. Consider this, the US...
Let me tell you a lover boy method I did once. You like this? I met a girl, fell in love. Shit, for real. That's the ultimate lover boy. Slept with her. Whoa, got her pregnant. Told her I'll be with her and support her and the baby no matter what happens between us. Because I'm a good Christian man. You scumbag. The baby was born. This child is now 4 years old. Disgusting. I love my daughter. Disgusting. I respect this woman very much. Gay. I spend hundreds of thousands a year buying her new cars, everything she needs for the baby, sending her on holidays. You drive her. She flies on private jets. Yeah, you're a faggot. That was all done because maybe I was going to exploit her somehow. So, I'm now not allowed to talk to my own daughter and her mother. This file may take 3+ years, and they've successfully stolen my daughter from me.
Sent $345 million worth of weapons to Taiwan in July 2023, and similar
Let me tell you a lover boy method I did once. You like this?
Packages were forthcoming in previous years. Under a quarantine, China would most likely completely prevent future weapon shipments from ever reaching Taiwan. But this isn't China's first show of maritime strength. The military exercise in May wasn't the first time China displayed its maritime capabilities and potential for a quarantine or blockade of Taiwan. Remember when Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, visited Taiwan in 2022? China deployed a patrol vessel directly off the coast of Taiwan. The same patrol vessel was called upon in 2023 during then-President Tsai Ing-wen's visit to the US. According to Chinese officials, the Haijun 6, the vessel in question, was supposed to conduct routine inspections on passing vessels, although no such inspections appeared to occur throughout these exercises. This pattern is telling. China has a history of responding to international visits to Taiwan or Taiwanese representatives leaving the country by deploying various military and law enforcement strategies as a show of force. A similar law enforcement exercise took place during the May 2024 military exercise, where the Fujian Coast Guard deployed its vessels in waters in the median line between mainland China and Taiwan. According to the China Coast Guard, the CCG, this exercise was meant to establish a baseline for China's capabilities in quick response, reaction and patrolling. The vessel approached around 3 miles from Taiwan's outlying islands of Wukyu and Dongyin, which was the first instance of Chinese vessels going so close to Taiwanese territory. What does this mean for Taiwan's future? It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to suggest that the law enforcement exercises was an attempt to ascertain China's options and reaction time when enforcing a quarantine or blockade on Taiwan. Due to a combination of military and law enforcement operations, it's clear that China isn't ready to stop ramping up its efforts to intimidate Taiwan and its allies. These events are a clear indicator that China has been truly considering making a strategic move to implement a quarantine around Taiwan. But how likely is it that China will make good on its threats? Let's go through some of the most notable benefits of blockading Taiwan. While implementing a blockade or a quarantine would be considered the biggest escalation in several decades, the move would arguably provide China with unprecedented control over the island. By quarantining Taiwan from the rest of the world, at least in regards to trade and movement of goods or people, China can impose its administrative and economic policies on the island. In a quarantine scenario, where the event wouldn't be considered
Ghost Rider almost appeared in Deadpool and Wolverine. So much so, concept art was even done including him. And it makes sense. Nicolas Cage was incredibly popular as Ghost Rider and his movies were financial hits. Ghost Rider 2 had a $75 million budget, and when considering home release, it took him $250 million. But unfortunately for many fans, Nicolas Cage said no to Ghost Rider appearing in Deadpool and Wolverine. While it would have been great to see him in this epic crossover of a film, I wouldn't rule him out in future appearances. For example, Robert Downey Jr. also said no to this film, but we learned the reason was because he's Dr. Doom and appearing in future movies. I think...
Motherfucker, I wish I could say you die alone, but it's one of the best jokes that you can't die, except it's on all of us! You got nothing to say, mouth? Motherfucker, I wish wish I could say you die alone, but it's one of the best jokes that you can't die, except that's on all of us. Well, you got nothing to say, mouth?
Not allowed to touch any of us.
Watch me.
No, no. It's been 5 minutes.
I'm here right now.
You're not allowed to touch any of us.
Watch me.
No, no. It's been 5 minutes.
I'm here right now.
I want to stop wasting my time.
Push me. Okay? Now what I'm doing, guys, I'm pushing him. I cannot move him, you know why? Because his hips is damn near in the mirror, and his knee is turned over. But if this knee is straight even, his power is done. Push me. Okay? Now what I'm doing, guys, I'm pushing him. I cannot move him, you know why? Because his hips is damn near in the mirror, and his knee is turned over. But if this knee is straight even, his power is done. Push me.
Dog, no dog, no, dog. Ah, your pet saved you. Your pet saved you, but we got you a little bit. We don't squirt dogs. Dog, no dog, no, dog. Ah, your pet saved you. Your pet saved you, but we got you a little bit. We don't squirt dogs. Dog, no dog, no, dog.
These guys work in the craziest place you'll ever see, and they have to climb down this super long ladder just to get back down, looking like they may work in heaven.
You want to go first? Matt? Yeah, sure. Sign me up.
These guys work in the craziest place you'll ever see, and they have to climb down this super long ladder just to get back down, looking like they may work in heaven.
You want to go first? Matt? Yeah, sure. Sign me up.
These guys work in the craziest place you'll ever see, and they have to climb down this super long ladder just to get back down.
Stoners say they know his spot. God, bro, for real.
These guys work in the craziest place you'll ever
Hey, yo, come on. What the fuck you talking about?
This dinosaur in this freak show?
You spin me right round, baby, right round.
Motors are good, sir.
Who is this?
this guy? What, we're gonna go in this dinosaur or this freak show?
You spin me right round, baby, right round.
Loaders are good, sir. Who is this guy? What, we're gonna go in this dinosaur or this freak show?
You spin me right round, baby, right round.
Loaders are good, sir. Who is this guy? What, we're gonna go in this
Soldiers
dinosaur
are
or this
soldiers.
freak show?
They're gonna beat a dinosaur and they're gonna blade as the city who skipped basic to Helldiver where he just got Ian
What, we're
frozen.
gonna go in this dinosaur or this freak show?
You spin me right.
What, we're gonna go in this dinosaur or this freak show?
One more time.
Stand.
Stand. Let's go.
There we go.
300.
Oh, that's right. Dude, I'm fucking dude, I kid you not. Sir? Oh, yes, no. Never mind, you're good. Oh, that's right. Dude, I'm fucking dude, I kid you not. Sir? Oh, yes, no. Never mind, you're good. Oh, that's right. Dude, I'm fucking dude, I kid you not. Sir? Oh, yes, no. Never mind. Oh, that's right. Dude, I'm fucking dude, I kid you not. Sir? Oh, yes, no. Never mind, you're good. Oh, that's right. Dude.
Whatever state this ball lands on, I have to play as in Supremacy 1914. South.
You want to go full tinfoil hat? Do you want to have a war with Trump supporters? Or do you want to have a war with the people who wear pink hats? And the people that are unhealthy, I'll fight them all day long. Fight them from the top of a large mountain. That's where you make your base, and no one's making it up there except fit people. The reason why they put civilizations up high. Make it really hard to get to them. You want to go full tinfoil hat? Do you want to have a war with Trump supporters? Or do you want to have a war with the people who wear pink hats? And the people that are unhealthy, I'll fight them all day long. Fight them from the top of a large mountain. That's where you make your base, and no one's making it up there except fit people. The reason why they put civilizations up high. Make it really hard to get to them. You want to go full tinfoil.
Make it really hard to get to
Do you want to
them.
have a war with Trump supporters?